Okay, let's jump right into this deep dive. We're looking at Northumbria, right?
Yeah, specifically that really intense period in the late ninth century. So think roughly 865 up to about 900.
Not exactly quiet times for the Anglo-Saxons there.
Oh, definitely not. It was a period of massive upheaval, total transformation, really. Lots of internal tension, too, especially around Eoforwick.
Which we know better as York today.
Exactly, York. And we're drawing on your collection of articles and notes here.
Right. And the idea is to quickly unpack how profoundly Northumbria changed during this specific window, mostly because of, well, the Norse influence.
And you can't really talk about this without starting with the big catalyst.
The Great Heathen Army arriving.
Precisely. They land in 866, and this wasn't just another Viking raid. This was something different, bigger, more organized.
A real game changer.
Absolutely. And they moved fast, strategically. The key moment for Northumbria hits just a year later, 867.
That's when they were for York.
Straight for it. Leaders like Ivar the Boneless and Halfdan Ragnarsson, they captured Eoforwick pretty decisively.
And that's when they defeated the local kings.
Yeah, the two rival Northumbrian kings, Ella and Osbert. Apparently they were actually fighting each other when the Norse showed up. Talk about bad timing.
Wow. So the Norse didn't just take the capital, they basically wiped out the existing leadership structure in one go.
Pretty much. Which, immediately established Norse control. That's really the beginning of the Norse Kingdom of Jorvik right there.
And it wasn't just a quick occupation, was it? They stuck around.
That's what's sort of surprising. It settled relatively quickly into something more permanent. It kicked off this profound shift in the whole region.
Okay, so let's get into that. How did things actually change? Like day-to-day life, the way things were run?
Well, the governance is a big one. Things started operating under what we call Danelaw customs. It's a different legal and administrative system from the old Anglo-Saxon ways.
So new rules, new ways of doing things.
Right, and you start seeing Old Norse language and culture really mixing in with the Anglo-Saxon stuff that was already there.
What about the economy? Did that change much?
Oh yeah, the focus shifts. You get these bustling markets, often run by Norse jarls. Sometimes they replace the older Anglo-Saxon fortified places, the burhs, or just transform them.
And they started making their own money.
They did. Minting coins right there in York, often with very distinct Norse symbols and designs. It's a clear sign they were setting up shop properly.
It sounds less like one king ruling everything and more fragmented.
Definitely fragmented. That old idea of centralized power pretty much dissolves. Loyalty shifts. It's less about a distant king and more about the local warlord or jarl who's right there.
So on the ground, you'd see like Anglo-Saxon farms next to Norse longhouses.
Yeah, coexisting. Sometimes easily, sometimes maybe not so easily. It was a real patchwork quilt of settlement.
Fascinating. What about the bigger picture, like the actual landscape or religion? That must have been complicated.
Very complicated. Even the physical landscape tells a story. Old Roman stuff like Hadrian's Wall, by this point, is kind of decaying. People are scavenging stones from it for other buildings.
For not really serving its original purpose anymore.
Not really, no. The borders and control were still obviously a big issue, just in new ways. And religion.
Yeah, immensely complex.
Christianity was still there, I assume?
It was strong, yes.
Mhm.
But you absolutely see Norse pagan practices making a comeback. We hear about some churches being desecrated.
Well, but it wasn't just conflict.
Yeah, it's never that simple, is it?
Yeah.
You also get Norse settlers converting to Christianity.
Mhm.
And there's fascinating evidence of syncretism, that blending of beliefs.
Like what?
Well, finding things like Thor's hammers and Christian crosses together in graves, it points to a really mixed, messy spiritual environment, people figuring things out.
And what about those famous monasteries, like Lindisfarne? They were huge centers of learning before.
They really suffered. Lindisfarne never fully recovered from earlier raids, and the ongoing threat just continued. Monks, relics, a lot of that precious stuff got moved inland or south for safety.
So a decline in scholarship then.
Sadly, yes. That great Northumbrian golden age of learning definitely took a hit during this period. So even after the initial Norse takeover, it sounds like things stayed pretty volatile.
Oh, absolutely. Cycles of war and then maybe uneasy peace. You even get these strange compromises.
Like what?
Well, there's the case of Guthred, a Norse leader who actually got support from the Christian clergy at one point. It shows how complex the alliances could be.
Politics make strange bedfellows, even then.
Exactly, but the whole region was fractured, and you've always got this rising power of Wessex down south kind of looming over this less unified north.
So if we fast forward to the year 900, what's the picture?
By 900, Northumbria is just fundamentally different. It's not that unified Anglo-Saxon kingdom anymore.
It's more of a frontier zone.
A frontier zone, yeah, that's a good way to put it. A real melting pot, different cultures, different faiths, constantly shifting power dynamics, all bumping up against each other.
So thinking about all this,
Hmm?
why should someone listening care about this specific slice of history? What's the takeaway?
Well, I think it's a really powerful example of how history actually works, you know? It's not just about one group conquering another.
It's more complex.
Much more. It shows societies being reshaped in messy, unexpected ways through cultural mixing, conflict, sure, but also through adaptation and compromise. It's not a simple story.
Right. And maybe it leaves you, the listener, with something to think about.
Yeah, consider how those layers, different peoples, different beliefs piling up in one place like Northumbria, how that creates a really unique identity.
And maybe sets the stage for conflicts and dynamics that continue long after.
Exactly. Those echoes through history, something definitely worth mulling over.